Hi, BookTube. It's Gina. Happy Saturday. How are you? I wanted to talk to you today about the bookish stuff that has happened to me over the last week or so since I've talked to you last. I've finished a couple books. I've started quite a few books. And sadly, I'm going to have to throw away some books. And I will tell you why. But the reason why is actually right here. My little girl, Josie, as soon as I sit down to make a video, she's all over me, which is really funny because she's not normally very cuddly. But I've mentioned in a couple of videos that she's been having some bladder issues, and for about the last month, we've been trying to figure out, oh, I got a hair now. We've been trying to figure out what's going on. The vet didn't know. She's on a variety of different medications, and they just discovered that she actually has E. coli. So, poor little baby, she's getting better. We've got her on antibiotics now, but you'll notice I've got some empty shelves down here because she has been peeing on my bookshelves. So, unfortunately, this shelf, these are my favorites books. So the books that she peed on were right here, and I'm probably gonna have to throw them away, which is so heartbreaking because they're some of my favorite books. They're actually my Gladys Tabor books, my Susan Branch books. I am trying to air them out. I've got them kind of segregated, and once you get that smell in paper, you really can't get rid of it. So probably gonna have to throw them away, but for now, they're just kind of stacked up because I can't bring myself to toss them yet. So we'll see how that goes. But it's really sad to have to throw away books. I'm probably gonna reorganize these shelves here behind me. One, so that I don't have favorites right here, since this is sort of the spot that she has taken to using. We've got some little puppy pee pads down here, and she's getting better. She's getting better, but she's 15, and at this point, I'm more worried about her than I am about the carpet and ultimately the books too. So I'm just gonna reorganize. I'm gonna move these favorites over to another shelf. Well, for that reason, because I don't want her to have another accident on them, but also because you might see it coming here soon. But this shelf of my favorites is in the sun, bright sun, for about an hour a day, and I'm very, very worried about it. So I'm gonna actually move these over and put them on another shelf. So this background will probably change a little bit in the next few days. Maybe, we'll have to see. Not sure if you can hear that pounding, but my spouse is outside working on the deck and he's making some noise. So I hope it's not too annoying. So that's the deal with throwing away the books. I know it's very sad, but they're just books. Most of them I can replace. One I can't. One's super special, and I will keep that one, even if it isn't 100% clean, just because I can't get rid of it. But I just wanted to let you know what was going on with my throwing away of books. Then next, let's talk about what I have finished this week. So I finished this Pride and Prejudice and Peril by Katie Oliver. This sadly was a bit of a thumbs down for me. I finished it. It was fine. The main character is a Jane Austen scholar. She's a professor, and she's just kind of a pretentious, I just did not really like her character. She dresses up in period costumes, which I guess is fine, but it just really made her unlikable. And I don't know, the mystery wasn't great. It was all right. You know, I finished it, and it was fun for Jane Austen July to have a Jane Austen themed contemporary book. But this one was a meh for me. It wasn't great. Next, yesterday I finished on my Kindle from the library a book called The Right Sort of Man by Allison Montclair. This is a cozy mystery set in the aftermath of World War II during rationing, and it is about two women who have some interesting backgrounds that we sort of get sprinkled throughout the story. And they meet and they decide to start a marriage bureau for people who are looking for a spouse, which is kind of funny because, we're still doing that these days. It's just now it's all electronic. But I loved this book. So they meet, they form this marriage bureau, they start working together. We start learning about them. They've got really interesting pasts and they're really great characters. One is a widow, has a small child. One is, she can fight and she can throw knives. And we start to learn where she gathered all of those skills as the book goes on. And it's a murder mystery. So one of their clients gets murdered, and the man that she was going to go meet is accused of murdering her. And they know he didn't do it, so they have to, of course, figure out who did. And it's really good. I loved it. A really fun new series. And did I say it's by Allison Montclair, who is a pseudonym for an author, Alan Gordon, who I am not familiar with, but I will definitely continue this series because it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. So those are the two books that I have finished since I talked to you last. I've got 3 books that I am working on. I don't know why. For some reason, I just kept starting books this month. Starting. The first is Sense and Sensibility, which I'm still reading for Jane Austen July, and I love this book. I'm about halfway through, so I will probably finish that one up this weekend. I am reading a book called Maine by Courtney Sullivan. Actually, this one, Maine, and The Right Sort of Man were both recommendations. I saw Steve Donahue talking about them on his channel, and they both sounded right up my alley. Maine features a matriarch who's a bit of a tyrant, but she's an old lady, and you know how I love my old lady characters, and she doesn't treat her family very well. She's widowed, and the whole family meets in the summer at their beach house in Maine, and let's just say chaos ensues. And I'm about halfway through this one too, also really enjoying it. And then I am reading a book called A Perfect Vintage by Chelsea Fagen. Chelsea is the owner of the Financial Diet YouTube channel, and I'm not really her target audience. She's probably a millennial with financial tips for younger people, but I really like her. I saw her do a house tour on Homeworthy here on YouTube, and her apartment was so cute and cozy. And she was talking about her book. And I didn't realize that she was also a writer and that she had written a book. And it's a contemporary romance. And I'm about 20% of the way through that one. It is very well written. I'm really enjoying it. I'm super excited because it's fun to find a new. Hopefully, I end up liking it as much at the end. I think I will because it's really very well written, and it's a fun story about a single woman who her job is to help these old vineyards and old estates in France turn into hotels or B&Bs, or I don't know what you call them there. And so she's going to France to work with the prickly son, who I think I know what's going to happen around that. But I'm really enjoying that one so far. So that is what I've got going right now. Starting on Monday, I am going to be buddy reading this Come Back to Me, Beloved by Kathleen Norris. Look at that beautiful cover. Isn't that gorgeous? This was one of my mom's books, and I was talking to a friend of mine, and she had just bought this book and had it delivered from Australia. and asked me if I wanted to buddy read it. So we are going to start buddy reading this on Monday. I just love this cover. And I have not read any Kathleen Norris before. I've got a bunch of my mom's old copies that I took when she died, but I've never read any of them. And we had pretty similar taste in books. So I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy these. And I just love that cover. So that is what I'm going to be starting. That is what I finished. I don't have a lot of physical books to show you today because I've been reading most of these on my Kindle. And actually all of them I got, except for Sense and Sensibility, which I own on my Kindle. I got them all from my library, my Kindle library, using the Libby app, which I love. So that's it for me today. I will talk to you later.